Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBM RPG sample video. Well, this is episode 11 of the series Learn RPG on IBM with VSCode. In the previous videos we learned how to work with arrays, data structures, lists, for each, loops, and different ways to search data. But all the arrays we used had one thing in common: their size was fixed. If we defined an array with 100 elements, it always had 100 elements. Today we're going to learn something much more flexible: variable dimension arrays. Arrays that can grow, arrays that can shrink, and arrays whose number of elements changes while the program is running. You'll see that RPG has some surprisingly modern features that many developers don't even know exist. So let's go! Before learning variable dimension arrays, let's quickly remember how normal arrays work. Well, this array always contains 100 elements. Even if we only use the three first positions, the array still reserves space for 100 elements. This is perfectly fine in many situations, but what happens if we don't know how many customers we'll have? We read records from a file, we call an API, we process a JSON document. Sometimes we need an array that can grow dynamically, and that's exactly that RPG provides. The first type we're going to talk about is VAR. Let me write. Well, let's understand this declaration. VAR means the array has a variable number of elements, okay? And 1000 means the maximum number of elements allowed. Important, the array does not start with 1000 elements. It starts with 0 elements. Yes, 0. This is one of the most surprising things for RPG developers when they first see VAR arrays. To increase the current number of elements, we'll use ELEM. So this if we write this, now the array contains 5 active elements. We can use them normally. Okay, and if later we need more, we can do this, and then the array grows. And if we need fewer, we only have to do, for example, and the array will shrink. This gives us complete control over the current size of the array. Okay. Problems. Well, if we use a position that is not set, for example, if we have LM customer names equals to 3 and we use this position, then it will crash. Okay? It is important to set the number of elements that we are going to use before adding information to the array. Well, until now, when we use for loops, let me remove this, then we are using for this way. Okay? Well, in our examples, we used to use ELEM here. Okay? But now with a variable dimension array, the number of active elements can change. So instead of using a fixed number here, 100 for example, we will always write ELEM in this kind of arrays. Okay, it is important to know. For example, doing something like this. Will bright, this will bright all the customers inside our array. So this is one of the most common patterns when working with VAR arrays. This loop automatically adapts to the current size of the array. It doesn't matter if we are incrementing it or decreasing it. If we are using ELEM, it will always return the actual size of the array. Well, now let's see something even more interesting. Autoarrays. Well, this also creates a variable dimension array, but there is a big difference. With VAR, we must explicitly increase the size using ELEM. And with auto, RPE can increase it automatically. For example, if we write this, well, immediately RPE expands the array. The current number of elements now becomes 100 automatically. We don't need ELEM in this case. That's where the name auto comes from. One of the nicest features of auto arrays is next. Imagine we are reading customers from a file. We want to store them inside our array. Well, instead of keeping a counter this way and adding information this way, okay, we can simply do something like this. Next equal to name. Every assignment creates a new element, increases the size, and store the value automatically. This is incredibly useful. It feels very similar to adding elements to a collection in other languages. Well, now let's create a realistic example. We'll create an auto array, we'll add customers, and then we will display them. Okay, so let's do it. We have our basic schema of program, of a simple program in RPG. We're going to have this array. We're going to use an auto array in this case because for me it's much more flexible. And we're going to add, using next, some different customers. Okay, it is enough. We are adding 4 customers, okay? And imagine we want to display all of them in our screen, in our job log. Well, we can use a for each in this case. In customer names, if you remember, we can use a variable and to go through the array. Then we have to declare it. Okay. And we only have to send message customer name to our job log. Okay. Well, notice that we never use a counter. We never used ELEM. And the array grows automatically using next. Okay, let me now compile it so you will see how it works. Compile it. Okay, and now let's run it. Run action, code program, and if you see, we have all our different elements in our screen. We are not using in any moment, we are not using a counter, and it knows that inside this array we have only 4 positions, okay, even when we are declaring it with 1000 positions, okay, but as we are using auto, it is very simple, okay. And if we need to add some customer more, all the more, we only have to do it, and we can do this again, and then let me compile it again, okay. And if we see, now we are first we are sending to our job log the first elements, the 4 first elements, because we only have 4 elements in the array, and then we are adding a new element, all the more, and we are doing the same loop, and then it is writing 5 elements, okay. It knows that inside the array now we have 5 elements instead of 4, and it is writing all of them in our job log automatically, okay. Well, of course, we can also reduce the current number of elements of our array. Suppose the array currently contains, as in this case, 5 elements. We are adding 4 elements here and other one here. Well, we can do something like this. ELEM customer names is equal to 2, and then only the 2 first elements of the array are active. The array has effectively been reduced. This can be very useful when filtering data or removing elements from a processing, and for initializing an array. For that, you only have to set elem to 0. Okay, if we do something like this, then the array is initialized. It doesn't contain any element inside. Okay, so we can start adding elements again. Well, things to remember. Variable dimension arrays are powerful, but there are some important rules. First, they always has a maximum size. Okay, so if we have something like this, then this 1000 does not mean unlimited. It means up to 1000 elements. Okay. Well, the second thing to remember is that the current number of elements starts at 0. Okay. Third question: for loops should always use elem, okay, instead of a fixed value. If it is possible, I recommend to use for each. Okay. And finally, when you don't know how many records you'll process, variable dimension arrays are often a much better choice than fixed arrays. Well, when should we use them? Well, use fixed arrays when the size is known, when the size never changes. Okay, for example, if we have months, in this case we'll have a fixed array. It has no sense to do something like this if we are going to store here only 12 elements. Okay, in this case we'll use always a fixed number of elements. In this case, if we are storing the days of the week, for example. Okay, when we have to use VAR arrays, well, in that case we'll use them when we need explicit control, when the number of elements changes. Okay, and when to use auto arrays. Well, you'll use them when you are continuously adding elements, when you don't want to manage counters, and when you are reading files, APIs, JSON data. Well, personally, when I need a dynamic list of values, I almost always choose auto, okay, because the code becomes much cleaner and easier to read. So in this video we learned how RPG supports variable dimension arrays. We started by comparing them with traditional fixed size arrays. Then we learned about the two different variable dimension arrays, VAR and auto. And finally we created a practical example where an array grows automatically while the program runs. This is one of those RPG features that many developers never use, but once you discover it, you start finding places where it can simplify your programs dramatically. In the next episode, we'll continue exploring modern RPG features and data handling techniques. I hope you liked the video and that it was useful to you. Remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already. See you on the next video and thanks for watching.